Most people treat emotional dysregulation like a character flaw. They call it too sensitive, too reactive, too much. But here's what's actually happening. Your emotions are not malfunctioning. Your regulation architecture was never installed. And walking through life without one is like running an operating system with no error handler. Every signal becomes a crash. Emotions are not noise, they are data. Your brain evolved these signals over hundreds of thousands of years as a biological alert system. Fear flags a threat, anger flags a boundary breach, sadness flags a loss. These are not bugs in the code. They are the most sophisticated diagnostic readouts you possess. The problem is not the signal. It's that you were never given the protocol to process it. So why does it feel like your emotions are running the show? Most people were never taught regulation. They were taught suppression. Perform calm, white-knuckle through the storm, manage the surface while pressure builds underneath the hood. This is not a system. It's a pressure cooker with the safety valve welded shut. And when it fails, it doesn't leak. It detonates. Think about the last time you genuinely lost it. Maybe you snapped at someone you love over something tiny. Maybe you spiraled into anxiety so overwhelming it paralyzed you for hours. Maybe you shut down completely, went completely numb, and could not access any feeling at all. In every one of those situations, most people immediately blame themselves. They say, "I am too emotional. I am broken. I cannot control myself." But what's actually happening? Your nervous system hit capacity and defaulted to a survival protocol. That snap, that spiral, that shutdown, none of it is a personality defect. It's a system crash. Your regulation architecture was never built, trained, or stress-tested. You've been running production traffic on scaffolding and blaming yourself when it buckles. When you treat the signal as the threat, you build your life around silencing it. Walls, distractions, numbness. But suppressed signals don't disappear, they compound. Every unprocessed emotion gets pushed deeper into the body, accumulating interest until it surfaces sideways in ways you can't predict and can't control. The emotion was never the threat. The backlog was. Here's where the architecture matters. Your regulation capacity is not fixed. It's not genetic destiny. Neuroscience confirms what the best clinicians have known for decades. Your nervous system has plasticity. It can be rewired. Regulation is not a trait you're born with or without. It's infrastructure you build. But most of us were never taught this, which means we walked into adulthood with the emotional regulation capacity of whoever raised us, which, let us be honest, for a lot of people was not exactly a gold standard. So what does a healthy regulation system actually look like? It looks like this. You feel something intense arise. There is a moment of awareness before you react. That tiny gap, sometimes it is just a fraction of a second, is where regulation lives. In that space, your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain, has a chance to come online and work alongside your emotional response rather than being hijacked by it. You are not suppressing the emotion. You are not white-knuckling it. You are actually feeling it while simultaneously maintaining enough stability to choose how you respond. That gap, that small, precious gap between stimulus and response. That is what a developed regulation system gives you. And the absence of it is what makes people feel like their emotions control them rather than the other way around. There's a reason most people never built this infrastructure. And it's not your fault. Regulation is fundamentally a social skill before it becomes an internal one. Humans are wired for co-regulation first. When you were an infant, you could not regulate yourself. You needed an attuned caregiver to help your nervous system settle. Over thousands of repetitions of that experience, you gradually internalized the capacity to do it on your own. But if that attuned presence was inconsistent or absent, or if your emotions were met with dismissal or punishment, your system learned a different lesson. Your system learned that emotional states are dangerous, unpredictable, or shameful. And so it developed workarounds instead of genuine regulation pathways. Those workarounds become your default patterns. Some people become anxious, hypervigilant overthinkers, scanning for danger in every interaction. Some people become emotionally shut down, disconnected from their own inner life, struggling to even name what they feel. Some people swing between both, which is its own particular kind of exhausting. None of these are moral failures. They are adaptive strategies that made sense in the original environment that created them. The problem is that those strategies tend to have an expiration date. So what actually builds regulation infrastructure? 3 components. Call it the regulation stack. Layer 1, signal detection. Before you can regulate, you have to read the data. Emotions live in the body before they hit the mind. Tight chest, shallow breath, clenched jaw, hollow stomach. Most people don't notice the signal until it's already a siren. Learn to read it early before the system redlines. Layer 2, signal tolerance. This is where most people fail. The instinct when discomfort hits is to escape. Fix it, distract from it, numb it. But the only path through is through. Sit with the feeling. Breathe into it instead of away from it. Here's what happens. The intensity peaks, then naturally declines. Emotions, when genuinely processed rather than fought, have a shorter half-life than you think. Layer 3, signal flexibility. The goal is not permanent calm. It's not about becoming unshakable. It's about range. The capacity to move fully into grief, fully into joy, fully into anger, and then return to baseline. That's not fragility. That's a high-performance nervous system. So, start here. Next time you feel something intense rising, do not try to fix it. Do not try to talk yourself out of it. Just name it. One word. Anger. Fear. Shame. Say it to yourself, out loud if you can. That single act of labeling engages your prefrontal cortex and creates the first millimeters of space between stimulus and response. It is not the full protocol. It is the first line of code. Install it today. One more thing before we close. The cultural conversation around emotional health has become weirdly distorted. We have overcorrected from suppression in one direction toward a different problem. The idea that every feeling must be immediately expressed and validated without any filter or timing awareness. Genuine regulation is not suppression, but it is also not unfiltered expression. It is the sophisticated middle ground. Feeling fully while also maintaining the awareness to choose when, how, and with whom you share what you are experiencing. Let me be direct about what this takes. It is slow, deliberately slow, because you are essentially rewiring patterns that may have been laid down in childhood and reinforced for decades. You will practice and still fall back into old responses. You will have breakthroughs and then feel like you went backwards. That is not failure. That is how nervous system change actually works. It is not linear. It is iterative. But here is the payoff that makes it worth every moment of discomfort. When your regulation system actually develops, you stop being a passenger in your own emotional life. You stop being at the mercy of circumstances, other people's moods, or your own internal weather. You start experiencing the full richness of what it means to be human, which includes hard feelings, without those feelings consuming you. Your emotions are not the problem. They never were. They are some of the most sophisticated, intelligent, and useful information systems you possess. The work is not to silence them. The work is to build the internal infrastructure strong enough to actually hear what they are trying to tell you. If this landed, watch emotional regulation, the skill that makes discipline possible next. Your emotions were never the bug. The missing regulation infrastructure was. Build the stack, install the protocol, stop blaming the hardware for a software problem. Subscribe. It's not self-help. It's a system upgrade.